I didn't win the argument because I was wrong.
You were, but were you really?
Yeah, I was indulging in the fruits of life that I helped create for myself.
Yeah.
But when you're on a date and you're
Things
with
are
a woman,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. You're wrong when you're right. What's up, my people? We're here checking in today with another episode of Inside the Vibe. I'm Yoru, and today we have business owner, orator, the master barber, and philanthropist, Zane, also known as the owner of Key Cuts. Happy to have you with us, boss.
Man, I'm super happy to be here. You know I am. I came to bring the energy today because you invited me, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you for coming. It's been a long time. I feel like I don't remember the last year I saw you, but you look the same. It's been a minute. Maybe, has it been a decade?
He said I look the same. I'm bald now.
Close. We're focusing on the important things that haven't changed. The important things haven't changed, you know?
Exactly.
So I love this. I'm happy you were able to kind of make time to come through. I know we were kind of trying to figure out the schedule. Saturday's a very busy day for your business, so definitely wanted to make sure we could connect without making the business suffer. So before we get into like the real questions, I want us to kind of have a little fun with our Set the Flow segment where we kind of give our audience a chance to get a better insight of who our guest is and kind of how they like to get down socially and just a little bit about who they are.
Okay.
So I'm just going to jump right into it. All right. So everybody loves chocolate, right? So are you more of a chocolate and peanut butter guy or a chocolate and like wine or fruit kind of guy?
Chocolate and peanut butter all the way.
Yeah.
Peanut butter everything.
I think that's the only answer, to be honest.
Reese's Pieces.
I think that's
The
only answer.
M&Ms.
Yeah.
Ate a whole bag at the beach one time.
Reese's. I'm more Reese's than peanut butter M&Ms.
You're more Reese's than peanut.
Yeah.
Okay, the big peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
This is a very big back convo, but you know, when I like candy, chocolate is like my Achilles heel. So I got to make sure I don't keep any in my house because I would just blow up. It gets crazy. And I've very few pieces of chocolate I've seen that I don't like, besides Almond Joy.
The only thing besides like candy that really blows me up, bread, man. I'm a bread guy.
I love bread.
Not sandwiches even, but like bread and olive oil at the Italian restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get enough of it. Texas Roadhouse.
I'll literally eat bread just off the strength. Like, you bread and butter.
Bread and butter, toasted.
Yeah.
I started adding a little Parmesan cheese and garlic.
I got into an argument once because I was on a date and before the food came, I got full. Because it was like one of them nice Italian spots and they don't play with the bread. So I was just eating bread and butter. And by the time my sandwich came, more bread, I was full. And that was an argument. And I didn't win the argument because I was wrong.
You were, but were you really?
Yeah. I was indulging in the fruits of life that I helped create for myself.
Yeah.
But when you're on a date and you're with a woman, it doesn't matter. You're wrong when you're right.
Things are supposed to go how they're supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
Like, nah. Hey, that helped you find out, though. That wasn't somebody, I don't know how it went, but I was just like, that might not be somebody who, hey, we should be able to bounce back from simple incidents like this.
Well, to be fair, I'll be transparent. The argument wasn't as a result of that. That was it was like a domino. But I was wrong. I'm going to be honest. I was wrong.
I got you.
So next, let's say sunrise or sunset.
Sunrise.
Same.
I get up 4:30 to work out, champ.
Yeah. I wasn't a sunrise person until one day I just drove to the beach after a party and I saw the sunrise and I was just like, it felt like I wasn't on Earth. Like the sun was so big, I felt like this is an amazing, like this is nature. Like this is what nature is supposed to be.
It's a very euphoric response.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I feel how you feel, man. Like seeing the sunrise and like being done with my workout then, like even if I'm sparring, like I box a little, but like that's feels like, good. I'm alive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Favorite villain?
Favorite villain? Darth Vader, my big bro, my mentor, Darnell, man. He's like a huge Darth Vader fan. So like my mom's already a big Star Wars fan and growing up and watching that. And Darnell, like he would send me like Darth Vader like Instagram edits and
they go crazy with edits.
Got obsessed with him. And I would have said Vegeta because he's one of my favorite characters of any
But he's
ever,
more like an
but
anti-hero at this point.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is like we saw him
He's
live
like,
long enough to be the villain. You might be the hero.
yeah,
Opposite,
literally, that's a fact. Darth Vader's a good one. I go between he's on that the Hall of Fame for me as well. I've been more like a Joker guy.
I was thinking of him in my head when you said it, but I just went to Darth Vader because
I can't
Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson were amazing.
Yeah,
people forget Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, because Jack Nicholson walked so Heath Ledger could run. To be honest, and I can't really relate to the Joker, but I love the story. I got
a Joker impression.
Yeah,
I got a couple of impressions.
I mean, do it. Let me see.
Nah, it's gonna be a little too much. Nah, he's like, you know how I got these scars.
That's how he be talking too. I remember I watched The Dark Knight, which I think is the undebatably best superhero movie I've ever seen in my life. Well, I remember I would download it on my iPod Nano, and I was maybe like in 8th or 9th grade, maybe. And I'm watching this in the palm of my hands, and I'm like, yeah, I'm watching the greatest movie I think I've ever seen at the time. Yeah. Like, I thought this movie was like, I remember when
Did you see it before it was on your iPod Nano?
That was the first time I ever saw it. But I remember I was doing. I saw it when it was out because I had like it was like a uTorrent website where you could download. Well, I won't say I downloaded it because statute of
your
limitations.
friend did. And
my friend sent this to me from somewhere else, and I don't know the friend anymore, and I don't have any of this stuff anymore. So anyway, I saw it, and I thought it was like the greatest thing I ever saw in my life. Yeah. Like the way I think the scene where he made the pencil disappear, I was like, oh yeah, he's not playing around.
I like we're having tryouts.
Oh yeah, the nurse
the pool stick.
The nurse scene, and then when he made him decide between which boat to blow up, that was crazy. So.
Or when he's with Harvey and he's just like, the rules apply to me too. Like, point the gun at his head. Yeah. You like Heath, damn.
Yeah, he was like one of the greatest
performances
I've ever seen in my life, for sure. All right, next, favorite childhood movie that didn't hold up against time, like it doesn't hit when you watch it now.
Oh, that's a really good question. That didn't hold up in time. I'm thinking of all the movies I love. I could say that Fern Gully.
Okay.
Wasn't really a huge fan when I got older.
Yeah.
You know, I like a lot of great ones, but that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's literally Avatar.
Yeah,
like it with just cooler animals and whatnot.
I think one that I view differently now. I think it was the Goonies. Yeah, I look at it a little differently just because it's like y'all were kind of bullies. But I don't want to put too much woke vision on it. But it's like it hits different now when I look at it.
And when you see how all those young actors turn out,
you
think about like, oh, this is '80s Hollywood, like.
Yeah,
effed up behind the scenes acting.
Yeah. So I got a little bit with a grain of salt. Okay, great hair or great teeth?
Great hair or great teeth?
Which one would you rather have?
Great hair or
like great, like
like
Chip Skylark or like I guess like a perfect
hair. Whatever. I'm bald now, man. And I loved my hair, bro, until my corners started going back. I did so much cool shit with my hair. I wish I would have, when I had more of my hair, did like what dudes want now and get from me now, which is the mid-skin fade with like 4 straight back braids and have some hang time in the back.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Because I did it towards later to take emphasis away from my widow's peak, but then I just kept seeing that shit go back, and I was like, no, not anymore.
I mean, it's always great to retire before the game retires you. Yeah. Especially with hair.
And being a barber, people watching me hang on to it. Unless I do something eclectic and cool, like if I would have did just like one mohawk line, I thought about that, but I was like, nah.
Especially as we get older, it's like you can't be the barber still like hanging on to your glory days.
It don't look terrible.
Good. Yeah, it's bad.
Looking like you got bad judgment.
It's bad marketing too. Yeah, that's you don't want to support a business owner who's making bad decisions like that.
No, hell no.
So you got I'm with it. Okay, last one I have for you is best rapper of your lifetime.
I'm a huge West Coast fan, so Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, of your lifetime now?
Kendrick Lamar.
Of your lifetime?
That's my answer, man. But okay, let me stop. My favorite rapper of all time is Nipsey Hussle, so I'll say Nipsey Hussle on this show. Nipsey Hussle.
Okay, and I said of your lifetime, but I guess
Yeah.
best makes it different than favorite. Like favorite, I'm with, but Nipsey, I wouldn't, I can't. Wayne's right there though.
But everything that Nipsey said in all of his raps was true.
Okay.
Every single part of it.
But I think facts.
And he acted on everything that he said he was going to do and did it.
But do facts and intentionality make you a better rapper?
That's so important to me.
Okay.
That's why that's what we're here to learn about during this interview,
Okay.
right?
I'm not mad at that.
Intention is a huge word with me.
That's true. Right? And I can't speak bad on Nipsey. I just think, Wayne is right there. So, but I mean,
Oh, he's a great rapper. Little dumb in his decision making and political views.
Yeah. I try to separate the art from the artist when I can.
We ask that a lot in the barbershop.
When I can. Sometimes I can't.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I feel like I can.
We ask that a lot in the barbershop.
But I feel like it's certain things you
separate it.
Certain things you do make that harder for me. So
we don't play R. Kelly in the shop.
Yeah, I feel like if you touch kids, I can't. And he has some slaps.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you touching kids.
I asked the parents, I'm like, you cool if I play Michael right now? I'm not going to lie.
Michael different.
Asked that.
Michael beat the case.
I get you, and there's no real proof, and then there's like, just, let's not even go there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because Michael beat the case. So that's
it's just weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think being any place where the lights are off with children is odd, if that's not your child.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So we shouldn't condone it, and it was weird.
And I feel like a lot of that happened when I was...
You're going to get me in trouble.
A lot of that happened while I was still maturing. I don't even think I was in high school when the Michael thing was, concluded. Yeah. So, I don't have as strong a stance on that as I do. I was more of age when the R. Kelly thing kind of ended, so to speak, where he got convicted. Yeah,
and then the HBO doc that they tried to do on Michael that was, super graphic and weird. You find out two of the people had monetary connection to it, income off of it. You feel me?
That's what always makes it hard these days. There's a lot of conflict of interest, and I would say corrupt intentions behind some of the things that happen. Where it's this could be a true thing, but now because we don't like how it came up, we throw it all away. Which I feel like doesn't make sense because some of the greatest things in history are like that. We just don't have the back.
We're literally continuing our conversation about can you separate, into that part of 100%. What you just said.
Because sometimes great messages come from bad places and good people come from terrible beginnings. So we just all could use a little bit more discernment. All right.
And empathy.
Yeah, empathy as well. And grace. And grace. I feel like there's where we live now, it's you got it wrong, you're done. You lose everything. And some things I think make sense to do that. But others, we could show a modicum of understanding. Because we all would be canceled if a camera followed us around. Yeah. Thank God cameras don't follow us all around. So
I'm not a Twitch streamer.
Yeah. So, all right. So that set the flow, ladies and gentlemen. That's our Inside the Vibe homegrown game. And before we get into the questions, how are you today? Saturday, holiday weekend. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I was cutting hair, headed out here. I just got back. It's been a couple days, so I'm a little more used to the jet lag from Europe.
Okay.
I got to take a trip. It was my first trip in a while.
Dope.
Because I've been, making a lot of business moves, building up a new location of my barbershop.
Dope. Where is the new location going to be?
Well, no, this was the one that we moved to.
Oh, yeah, I saw that you guys do have
on Church Street in Montclair, which is Church Street Plaza, which if anybody knows the area or if you don't, imagine the downtown area of a 50,000 person populated football-shaped town. It's right in the middle on Bloomfield Ave, which goes through a bunch of cities in Essex County. And Montclair is the stop. We're a restaurant town, but on the street I'm on, I was one of the first black barbershop and black space owned by a black person on Church Street in Montclair, which up the street is a Trinity Church, Christ Trinity Church, I believe. They're a black church that's the biggest in the state of Jersey.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. And I know you said you're the first black barbershop. So what's your competition? A bunch of supercuts? What's the comp looking like?
There is one in Montclair, but it's on the whole other side near Montclair State. Where I'm at, you're dealing with a lot of shave parlors, and you're dealing with, Yeah, everybody's a shave parlor and caters to white men who would be walk-in clients who used to live in the city.
Shave parlors sound freaky to me, but I mean, I'm not in the industry, so like I don't know. Like when I hear
Shave
shave
parlor
parlor,
is like that bougie term of a barber shop
okay,
where you're gonna see subway tile around the stations,
okay,
and you're probably gonna see wooden stations.
all right,
Talking about stations that hold all of your items, etc.
gotcha,
And then the barbershop chairs are gonna have leather straps on them, which is what you would sharpen your straight razor with back in the day. And those type of shops, shave parlor, like Hot Towel Shaves is what they're known for the professional cut white man who works in the city.
gotcha,
Or corporate, yeah.
okay. Well, listen, you put me on game. I never knew.
We could talk about
it kind of gave
barbering
brothel,
for days.
but shave parlor. I'm happy that's not what I thought it was.
Oh man.
Okay, cool. So let's start. So first question I have for you is we kind of grew up in and are still in a very grind culture, team no sleep, all of that. You know, part of that is toxic, but I know for you, standing a business from the ground up can be challenging for any business owner. But I want to know specifically in your experience, what is one of the toughest hurdles you've had to kind of overcome in your journey as a businessman?
One of the toughest hurdles I've had to overcome was, would you say, to get it started?
Yeah, or any part. It could be when you were already in the flow, or maybe to turn a corner, or maybe to kind of just anything on your journey to standing up Key Cuts and any other ventures you have.
Okay. The two things that just really stand out to me: one, financially being able to back it and get into it, and two, the discrimination, not only and racism within the real estate game and the realtor game, right? Trying to go see spaces, talking about what type of business I would run there, always focusing on how I'm going to dress and present myself when I go meet with these certain people who could be of the same ethnicity, could be of two different ethnicities. You know what I'm saying? It's just like different interactions, but always coming professional, and then letting them make the mistakes that they made. I had to see 17 spaces before we moved to my new spot, and usually, some people tell me they see like 5 to 7. We had some really bad experiences with that. But then with money, it's always going to be a problem, but it's up to you to solve it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So you said you saw 17 spaces. Do you feel what were the challenges that got that number that high? Because you said some of your peers 5 to 7, but yours was like triple that. What do you think you kept running into that made finding a home more challenging?
We had somebody tell us after we said barbershop, which we had told the person we spoke with on the phone calling about the space, and went to go see them. We got double asked by, I guess, the other is a partnership ownership of the building. And barbershop, what type of crowd do you guys bring? That was their immediate response. And I was just like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Because I get a little flustered, especially in that subject area. So that's one of the issues. Another issue, they found out we were doing a barbershop and said, oh, this is perfect. All we have to really change is where the plumbing would go for the sink, because we need a sink in here.
Yeah.
And homegirl looked at us and this was like, oh, okay. That doesn't seem like much, but what happened was a couple days later, that hesitation and that reaction, she goes, my boss said you want to do too much with the plumbing, blah, blah. Now, what I'm talking about is an easy, connect through behind where the bathroom is, just into the next wall so that I can have an opening to put a sink.
Absolutely.
And that's not something crazy. If
it doesn't sound
any
like
of your
it.
viewers, contractor work, that's like simple stuff that, we can get that done. They get that done in a day and a half. You know
so
what I'm
kind of
saying?
like they were finding reasons to drag their feet to really hide
Absolutely.
what their true
they don't want. And we came to them with our net sales, revenue, all this, everything broken down to a T from my first 3 years of business ownership, which had grown more than 25%, 125, 135% over the
course of
those 3 years.
Yeah,
every year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I knew I was doing something right, and I had the backing, I had the cash flow in the account to to be checked by a landlord. All people don't tell you about all the details of when you're moving and what you're doing, but like cross your T's, dot your I's, man.
Absolutely. So growing up, we see like in cinema, and no matter what your ethnicity is, like the barbershop is a place of refuge for men. It's like where, boys become men. Men have sort of a sanctuary and an understanding to kind of have more masculine focused conversations that you kind of can't have elsewhere because they'll be received in inopportune framing that doesn't really give space for men to kind of be understood by one another, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the barbershop still holds that cultural equity for men today?
Not every barbershop, and I don't believe every barbershop always has.
Okay.
But it's your job, I feel like, especially as a black barbershop and a black barber owning a barbershop, it's like to create that community, hold space within that community, and make it a safe space.
Got it.
And for my shop, we absolutely are that because I grew up in that. I grew up in that because South End Montclair has 3 historic black barbershops on there. Mahir's Unisex Barbershop, Young's World of Beauty, and 3D's Barbershop. Yeah. And they're still open to this day with the men that run them all come from the same barber tree. Mahir was a mentor to me. The other 2 were as well in different ways, but I worked under Mahir. Those 3 all come from under Mr. Young. And Mr. Young, who ran Young's World of Beauty, who had a bigger location on the Ave, but then moved into where it's the black area of town in South End and had that shop, man, he taught everybody how to pack their bags, how to sanitize their stations, sanitize your bag after you do a house call, etc. Taught them all how to fade, cut, use scissors, etc. Even on curly hair, even on the tightest of curls, on the darkest of skin tones, showing how to fade so that you can see more of the transition on all skin tones, etc. Like Mr. Young was the pinnacle of all of that, and that's what it reverts back to.
So, and I know you said you had an emphasis on like making sure because you came from that, that's what you represent in your shop and in your space today. Like, what are some of the ways you do that?
Some of the ways we do that is like extracurricular not outside of the shop, but in the shop during closed hours. Every first Sunday of the month, we do a men's group therapy session, which is almost like icebreakers and like just doing check-ins with people. Yeah. And it gives us all some fellowship. We have 2 black therapists who started it with me, Darius and Isaiah Brown. They're both licensed. Well, one's a counselor in a school, one's a licensed therapist, and they both doing their damn thing. So those guys are awesome. The way we do it also in the shop is we play music that's always appropriate to the audience. Sometimes we'll turn up if it's like grown men in there who are about that. You know what I'm saying? But if there's kids, women in there, we playing like today everybody was loving the vibe. We were playing Erykah Badu. We were playing Angie Stone. We were playing stuff I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And 90s neo soul and all that. So keeping that within the shop is very important to me by making culture accepted in the shop and showing the best sides of it and the professional sides of it, right?
And I think that's a great way to kind of elevate culture. Not only the sides of, we're talking about the turn up side, but the soulful, community focused, the foundation of part of what hip hop was and R&B and those other art forms where we're drawing people in, we're fostering community. And even though we have the music that, gets us riled up, that might get us more aggressive, there's also another side to it that's like focused on creating fellowship and unity amongst one another. And I feel like we can't, a lot of times the part of the story that kind of becomes highlighted is the part that is less desirable to the masses, but that's only a piece of the story. So I even like the fact that you guys have the therapy, which is, I feel like the barbershop is very historically like more of a macho space, so to speak, where men lean into like the essence of being a man. To kind of reinvent that a bit, having therapy present, I think is a great way to kind of embrace the emotional intelligence of the world today, or where we're pushing towards it, but still have that essence of this is a safe space for men, and it can be a safe space for us to have locker room talk, but also a safe space for us to foster our health so we can really make sure the stuff we were born with doesn't stay with us the entirety of our journey here. So like we don't just perpetuate a toxic masculine cycle. So I think that's a dope
Barbering is
element.
therapeutic.
Yeah.
Barbering is men's grooming and wellness.
Yeah.
And that wellness dates back to, I don't know if people know, but barbering, like the barber pole that's red, white, and blue, it really like goes back to, he was your dentist. It was white for the teeth, blue and red for the veins, for bloodletting, etc. Like your barber was every aspect of your life and still is in many ways.
I like that. I like that. So we're talking about business, we're talking about culture, and how that is kind of represented in your walk as a barber and the other business ventures that you do. What was the turning point for you? And it could have been at any point in your life where you were just like, this is it, like I'm all in. The moment you really understood that this isn't just a side hustle or something I'm good at anymore. This is part of my identity. This is what I want to do as a career path.
I knew exactly when, my junior year of college, my third year, I had fallen behind in classes. I had messed up in a lot of ways. You know, I lost a lot of scholarships that I had going to Rutgers. And it was my third year. My mom had got sick. She had cervical cancer at the time. She got it removed, thankfully, but it was like a tough process. So I was commuting, couldn't see my friends as much, needed to get my grades up. And I was working at Whole Foods, which is cool. It's a really good work environment for corporate places. But, man, like barbering and working in a barbershop at the same time as that, making some money, having some cash in my pocket to have gas to get that back and forth was the best part of most of my days. People hitting me up to come to their dorms to do house calls. It was only $20 back then what I was charging, but like that meant so much to my pockets at that time, making $20 an hour instead of working for $10 an hour at Whole Foods, which gets taxed, which gets all these things, we get benefits taken out. And all. It's like that was what was needed at that time. That's when I was like, yo, man, I'm going to finish this degree, but I'm going to like go and get my license and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Because I'm going to own a business with it, too, not just be a bar. I was thinking bigger terms.
And I think that's what's always important about finding ways to scale your business as you're within it, because that's how a side hustle becomes a career, becomes a destination that you can kind of bring other people in on that journey, where it's not like, hey, this is like something I do on the side. No, I'm building a space, I'm building an environment, I'm building an infrastructure where I can also help foster not only my dream, but other people's dreams because of my approach and intentionality to it. So I think even having the foresight at that age where, no, this is something I'm doing, but this is something I want to do, and this is what that looks like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in your career as a barber, was there a moment, I would say like with any big name client or notable face, that really was more so a formative memory where it's like I made it, like I'm living in the purpose of what I plan to do?
Big name client. So the first one where I really felt that way, man, when one of my clients introduced me to Teofimo Lopez and I was cutting him, I was like his tri-state area barber for like 2 years. Teofimo is 2-time lineal world champion of the world. And he at 135 and 140 was an amazing boxer, and he was a very generous and awesome. One of my first big time celebs that made me go like, yo, I made it, man. Like the way he was paying me, his family was treating me, they showed me a lot of love in a lot of ways during the time that I was cutting his hair. Yeah. And I'm a huge boxing fan, so that was also like, I was fanning out with being professional and not fanning out too.
And I'm sure that was probably like the best lineup you ever did, because there was a little bit of risk involved.
If somebody wanted to throw hands,
in case something went a little sideways.
It's different too. Like one time I got to see him like working a little bit, sparring, and man, like the difference between professional to dudes who are pretty nice from your neighborhood who have been taking it kind of serious, their life and the discipline of it, to like people who are just a little sharp, like you know the difference in them levels when you see that up close and personal.
I mean, I think in my experience, and I'm not a boxer by any stretch, but I remember one time when I was taking boxing classes, and the thing that I realized for me was one of the defining moments was like, you don't see the punches coming. It's almost like the human being in front of you has like 3 arms and you only see the one. And then the punch, I'm just like, there's no arm there. Where did this come from? It's just like a black light. And I'm like, oh, so this is it for real. I'm just playing around. And it's the difference between professionalism and anybody who's like, it's like the hours. You're on hour maybe 59. This person's on hour like 75,000. So it's like it's a different perspective completely.
Oh, the time invested is everything in any which way of whatever we learn in whatever our trade is, man. Like whatever job you're in, like time put in. And I be telling other people, get your reps in. So like I be telling young barbers who want to come and work with me, but they've barely done any cuts. They like started cutting when they went to school. They weren't doing it before, like how I was, cosmetology school. And I be like, yo, you should, if you want to learn from me, that's great. We'll take you on a couple days a week, but you should do like 2-3 days at a Supercuts or Sports Clips. I know they're cheaper and not as known for giving as good of cuts, but people come in there in volume. Get your reps up so you can get more of your muscle memory with
and build your
everything
clientele.
Yeah, but like reps. The only way you're gonna get better is like learning from the mistakes of what you're trying to do better every time with intention.
There's no shortcut to putting the time in. And I think because we see and we've grown up in this world where it seems people get success overnight, a lot of those people just didn't start documenting their process until it started progressing. But before the progression, before the documentation, they were doing the work. So people shouldn't get fooled by what they see. A lot of those people were experts in their craft before we even knew of them because their backlog of hours and determination and effort just wasn't documented in a way that they can show us. But they were in the field. So
you don't get to watch a lot of the details of a lot of people, and like that's like the celebrities I'm very attracted to. Of like, man, like the intention they gave. That's why I say Nipsey Hussle. Like you could say a Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan when you start to like see the breakdowns from their trainers and and the background footage of their practices and stuff.
So I know we're talking about like the I made it moment where you felt kind of, hey, I'm here. I'm well on my way. I'm doing what I wanted to do. Have you had another moment that maybe defined your alignment in your purpose where you felt, not that I made it, but I'm really stepping into who I'm supposed to be? You felt comfortable in your journey and comfortable in the fact that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm aligned in my purpose, and I'm sort of living in it.
Having this new shop, going through all of the bumps and hurdles, but then also the like new level of life and getting used to that, right? Like just how you are socioeconomically, but then also through society, how people are viewing and paying attention to your life different too. You're a business owner of a storefront where families come and convene. Getting used to that, but then also getting more opportunities of like people calling me to come to the city and cut X, Y, and Z and stuff, right? Because like some people had seen that I cut 21 Savage getting ready for the Academics podcast. I was cutting academics while I was at Complex Magazine, and that was connections through college, right?
Yeah.
And then like later on, people see me pop up like, I asked him for permission and let me take a picture. Draymond Green, who was one of the most like humble, generous, Midwest hospitality. You know, they have that Southern hospitality up in the Midwest. Like just nicest, most amazing celeb client I ever cut besides Ian Dunlap, who's like a big brother to me. He's the master investor on Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah, EYL.
Yeah, the brainiac, man. Love him, bro. He put me on to some people. And it's like, I like the celebs I cut because it's a reflection of the people whose character I admire or respect.
Absolutely.
And they bring that around my business or me and want to do business with me because I give them that respect and professionalism, but I'm on that same type of time as them.
That's amazing. And I think it's always like that saying where your circle kind of shows the direction of where you're headed. The people you hang around shows your intentionality to life and the journey you're on and what
Very
that looks
important.
like. So I think that's a representation of your living your purpose and the people who have been around for that process for you to get there. So
Appreciate it.
I want to speak to community. I know you spoke about the therapy that you have for men and then the other events that you have going on in the barbershop after hours. Community seems to be a focal point for you in the things you post, the events that your barbershop sponsors and help support and give space to. Has that always been a thing for you? Has community always been such a focal point of your identity, or was that something that you kind of found yourself a part of as you became a business owner?
I always wanted community because it was just me and my mom. She's a single mother for me growing up. My siblings lived after we moved across the nation, and they all have different mothers. So it's just like I always wanted a bigger family. I wanted a bigger community. So I was a bit of a social butterfly growing up, which can be opposite for kids who move several times
Yeah.
and moved across the nation.
Yeah, from
Seattle,
Seattle.
Colorado
Yeah.
Springs, Seattle to Colorado Springs to Montclair. You know, like
It's a jump.
those are all different
Very distinct, different
communities.
aesthetics.
Even though Montclair and Seattle are pretty similar,
Yeah.
Seattle's on the water and it's a major city.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And life just got better though, and mom brought us to some great communities, but we always like evolved everywhere we went, man. And it's like I wanted community wherever I was. So like high school, I built some really good friendships. And after I built those friendships in high school, I saw a lot of success around the people that I align myself with and I get along really well with. And those guys like are doing amazing things too. So
Absolutely.
I just feel like I'm a good judge of character by how people treat me and what they're interested in too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So in community, I know we're talking about what that means to you, and I think it kind of rolls into some of the other things we talked about the people being around you, how you show up for your community, how the barbershop that you own, Key Cuts, is still emphasizes the cultural equity that barbershops have and how they pour into the community, but how men can kind of still operate in a healthy masculine environment where they can pour into each other but still have conversations that society today may not allow them to have in such a free way. So when you kind of help build these spaces for not only yourself but the people who align with your journey, and you're also still a business owner, how do you define who you are in terms of who is Zane for those who don't know Zane, and how does that align with your mission for yourself?
Who is Zane? Zane is passionate. Zane moves with intention. Zane is authentic. Not to speak in third person, but I know that those things are consistent in my life and who I want to be. Um, Nobody can say that I'm a bad son. I try to be the most amazing son that I can be. Shout out to my mom, amazing person. I can reflect and do self analysis on like friendship dynamics, things I've done wrong in the past and right, and say like, all right, how do we even improve from that?
Yeah.
I try to improve every year of my life in a lot of categories, man. Whether that be like relationships that are romantic or friendships or family members, and also like being better on certain boundaries that you have to mature with and make better decisions with in a new way each year. So I want people to know that I move with intention, and I want to be remembered by everybody that I come across. I'd like that. That would be nice.
Legacy.
For good reasons.
Absolutely.
For good reasons.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point that you touch on. When we leave, all we have are the stories that people tell of us when we're no longer here. Whatever's documented, like memories, impact, that's the only really record we have that we were here. So in leaving those moments in positive standing, that's the best way I feel like we can live in our purpose, how it's remembered when we're no longer here.
I love that, and I agree with that in a lot of ways. But I'd say the bigger part of that for me is about how I made them feel in the present, because I know what it feels like to feel alone and feel depressed, feel a lot of bad and dark ways. So if I can have somebody remember me for treating them good and maybe have taught them a little something, or maybe have just been an ear that didn't shoot unsolicited advice back and they felt good about that interaction, that present moment of what I did for them, I really like take a lot of love into that.
So in those moments when you felt those feelings, right? How did you find resolve to, I guess, address those feelings or push past them? Like, or how did you kind of work through that? Those dark spaces you just mentioned, like you found yourself in.
Working through it was not only about, because so many folks would just say like, oh, I did like a physical form of therapy. I hit the gym and all these like that doesn't just fix it for me. Maybe it does for other people. But acting on knowing that, being able to say, hey, I'm not okay, and going to therapy. Thankfully, whenever I was like a little sad or mad about us moving, my mom would like make sure she met and brought me around the guidance counselor at the school. That would be for, like in Montclair middle school, we had houses.
Oh, really?
Like 5 or 6 houses in the middle school. Like you were house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in my house, I had the most amazing guidance counselor ever, Didier White. People called him Dana White, Mr. White. He's a 6'6", super dark-skinned black man with a short white afro. And his name was Mr. White. He was my mentor. He passed away right a couple months before we opened the shop.
Rest in peace.
Was super happy about me not just being a barber, but that I owned.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't get health care. He's like, I said, I'm going to own a shop and be a barber. And he's like, I like that better, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just like going through them spaces, like being okay with therapy, from like having guidance counselors, knowing how to talk and open up, then working on self-analysis, like really being able to go, hey, I'm not okay for right now.
Yeah.
Hey, this is really affecting me. And knowing that that's not from my friends, or, your parents love you unconditionally and like
100%.
will be there for you, especially my mom. But it's like there's some things that working with a professional is just going to help you with your cognitive thinking and organizing those thoughts. And that's really big for me, cognitive thinking exercises and skill sets. So like going to see a psychotherapist, a therapist, and like getting that type of information and organization is probably the best part of a best way of getting to that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That moving forward in the process of being in a dark space. And sometimes it's for a couple hours, a couple days. Sometimes it's been for months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like the good thing is to act on it, because everything that goes super low is going to end up going back to the middle or high.
Regression to the
It's always going to change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a great way to kind of really encompass who you are, what you represent, community, therapy, uplifting black men, just people in the spaces that you built all together. And I think that's a great summation of who Zane is. Before we get you out of here, is there anything that you have going on, any ventures, initiatives, any events you going on that you want to push for us to kind of give our audience a chance to kind of tap in?
At the moment, I really just promote the business and how much we're not just a barbershop, we're an experience, and the experience is this. Families come here, and the highest compliments I get is, one, even the families that don't come to my shop but walk by, who go to the church that's around the corner or dine in Montclair on the weekends and weeknights, they go by and it's like they'll see like black hair, black kids, black adults like in the shop, and many other races, but they see that that's the prominent people getting served. That's the group that's prominently getting served. It's just like the head nod, the fist up, yeah, boy.
That's
like people who grew up in town with me or never knew me and are just doing that because they see
what you represent.
Yeah, and like I'm told I give off a vibe that I am the owner of the shop. That's cool, but like Charlie's assistant manager, Cece's manager. Cece's been with me since day one, and she adds a whole other dynamic to the shop, being able to do braids and dreadlocks. So you got somebody doing braids and dreadlocks in a chair on Church Street, which is a very affluent area.
Yeah.
And a majority white town. Black is the second largest population, but majority white town. And we're descending as of late because of inflation and economy. But it's just like doing dreadlocks and braids on Church Street, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Cece's teaching somebody else how to get tighter, faster, and better with it. And that's Christabel, and she's growing. And like I have apprentice programs where somebody comes in, their cuts are discounted so that people who can't afford what most of my staff and myself charge, they can go to The Apprentice
and still get
and
quality
take that
too.
chance. Yeah,
Absolutely.
get quality, but make sure that me, CC, Charlie are doing oversight over it.
Yeah.
Whoever's in that day with The Apprentice, like we have to be checking, and we tell people from the get, like, hey, if you go with them, we check in on their haircuts, and I'm gonna be guiding them through the haircut. That's
Absolutely.
why it's discounted.
Yeah.
So it's just like I promote my business because I'm so proud of what I have.
Absolutely.
But I'm really proud of the team that I built. Like I was just away for the first time in 2 years, in 3 years for like a 7-day period. Besides that, it'll be 3-4 days max. But I did this again because it was very important for me and my mom to have this trip together.
Love that. Love that.
It's like my team did such an amazing job holding down the shop. And I feel like every year we've added on, year and a half, one more person to fill out these 6 chairs. And it's like all 6 are filled right now with a braider who can be at anybody's off day station, you feel me? And like, it's like I got a staff of, it's 8 of us all together, and it's like the most amazing team I ever had because they respect me and tell me that, and I've never lied to them.
Yeah.
You can see what you've made. You can see all the numbers. I'll do the breakdowns. If you want to open a shop, let me know. I'll either help guide you on some of the ins and outs of it, or I'm a potential partner and resource in other ways, financially and through networking resources.
Absolutely.
You know? So it's like being very transparent with my business is how I am as a person, and it reflects in both ways. But my intention of always trying to help somebody, you can never say that I didn't text you immediately, hey, it was this person who's a plumber, or hey, I got this client, he works at this, blah, blah. My business partner is at Slack, you know, which is Salesforce, and would you ever be interested in being there? Like, we are such a resource network, but a network in general, being a barbershop, everybody who's a client is from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Whether they, you know, have a different gender identity, sexuality, race, religion. Like, my barbershop is absolutely a melting pot that is a black barbershop and black safe space at the same time. It's like so dope, man. I'm so proud of it.
And that's the community that we speak about, and that's what it's about. And I thank you for coming on, sharing your story, and just showing who Zane is, how you are represented in the spaces you've built, and upholding the culture that really makes people proud of being in the same space and environment that you are.
And thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you having me here. For
Absolutely,
real.
man.
It's great to see you too.
It's been a minute.
And I'm proud of. This is beautiful. It's a great set.
Thank you.
And you know, like, it's nice when you see people and you feel like, hey, time has passed, but a relationship ain't skipped. You know what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
I'm very happy for you, bro.
I appreciate the words, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
All right, people. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.